Hello, and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. We are here on the daily time frame for BTC, and well, Bitcoin is trying to form another local low. That would give us, and you will see that on the smaller time frame, that would give us a micro 5-wave move down on this, not only on this time frame, but from the move up that finished here around the, when was it, 17th, 18th of September. This was a local top, at least, in our resistance area. And if you followed the videos over the last few days, then you know that I'm watching if we can get a 5-wave move down. I mean, that is what the focus is on at the moment, a 5-wave decline. Because if we get that, that's a signal, that's a series of lower lows and lower highs in non-Elliott Wave language. So a 5-wave decline would basically be a signal that wave C has started. They might say, okay, but if that's a signal, we've already moved away from that resistance area, right? So is there a setup? Is it the time to short? Normally from an Elliott Wave point of view, and also from a reward to risk management point of view, to short this, and this is not advice, right? This is just generally how an Elliott Wave short trade is built. You would wait for a 5-wave decline, and then the 3-wave move to the upside gives you a good reward to risk ratio to short the 3rd wave of the C wave down. So the 5 waves are a signal. You could short the 5 waves, but not at the end of the 5-wave move, of course. Well, that wouldn't make much sense. You can always short in a resistance area, right? I mean, that's also why it's on the chart, so that you have an area to watch where the price can react. And then, of course, you could basically, in a speculative way, short this already before we actually have a 5-wave decline. It's always possible. We have levels for that. But if you want to have the confirmation, which is not certainty, but confirmation, you can always short after the 5-wave move down and into the corrective rally afterwards, because then we have a very, very clear invalidation point, which is the top of the 5-wave decline. I mean, that's always the invalidation point, right? Some of you asked me on Discord, which is why I thought I'll build that into this video, give you some thoughts, or share some of my thoughts. Don't give you thoughts. But yeah, basically then also, this would be, 5 waves, but that's only the wave 1 of the C wave we talked about. And then wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Well, that's the orange count. But if we get a break above certain resistance levels, which I will talk about on the smaller time frame, then the bulls might make a comeback. So we always need to know what are the levels that, if triggered, will make this C wave decline less likely. And please note, we don't even have a 5-wave decline yet. Another low is missing, is needed. So far, the price is respecting the Fibonacci levels on the smaller time frame, as I'll show you. But please note, for now, also, still this count is still possible. And it would be what happens most likely if we start to break above certain key levels on the smaller time frame. We have to be flexible in this range. I mean, it's technically even possible that this B wave extends. We have to be ready for that. But that's that's something for the future to discuss if we break higher. Maybe as a bearish alternative, if we get a break above these key levels here and we are in the 5th wave up, then we always need to think about, okay, what if this is just an extended B wave, which won't be the preferred interpretation, I think, but also not unlikely, right? Because the move up from the from the September low is only a 3-wave move up. Anyway, let's take a look at the smaller time frame. Basically, it's about, can we get 5 waves down? Because that would be a clear signal that the bears want to send it lower. And in the current local range, the bears and the bulls are very, very clearly fighting. I mean, nobody really wants to give up here, right? We have price below resistance, which is between $112,856 and $114,000. So this is, let's say, our nearest resistance area, which you know about. We talked about it. We said, look, as long as we stay below this 114K level, or 114,011 basically, there is no sign that the bulls are making a comeback. And also, on my last post yesterday on Discord, I highlighted this is only a 3-wave move up so far. I think yesterday we already saw a reaction to that 50% fib retracement, and potentially the start of a fifth wave to the downside. And so, you know, that fifth wave to the downside might indeed be unfolding. Any further downside from here would confirm the orange count further. Then we will watch for a wave 2 bounce. So far, the orange count seems to be playing out. No evidence that white is playing out. We have no break above resistance. And we have no 5-wave move up. So orange seems likely, but what I said earlier today on Discord in the member update, this sideways range could still continue a bit. The wave 4 might extend. Yeah, I mean, it could form a triangle. Yeah, like A, B, C, D, E, triangle before that low. Okay, that's then where we would go into nanostructures and everything. It doesn't make much sense really. Too small. But overall, oops, that was the phone. Really, it's important that we understand the significance of the 114K level. I mean, it's not full confirmation that we're breaking out to the upside, but it's a first signal that orange is reducing in likelihood if that happens before we get actually 5 waves down. So breaking above it will shift the focus to that next level above, around 116,230, and breaking above it will be a bullish signal. At least it would reduce further the risk of the orange count. And if we get a break above it, then it might indicate further that the bulls are taking the lead. That would be the first level I would watch if there is indeed a break above initial resistance. So yeah, that's the update on Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Also, I invite you to join us on X for additional charts, news, and updates, and much more. Sometimes updates even sooner than on YouTube. So if you don't want to miss anything, feel free to follow us there. I'll put the link in the description and in the comment section. Thanks so much. Bye bye.